Save on Foods, Vancouver Whitecaps FC Soccer on Shaw returns after the Whitecaps 3-2 win in that eventful game against Miami FC, as the Whitecaps and Minnesota Thunder do battle in a match of 8v11. Whitecaps in 8th, Minnesota here in 11th. Nicholas Platter in goal, and a bit of a different back four from what we're used to with this squad with Arango. Andres Arango has been around a bit, Montreal and Toronto Lynx back in the Toronto Lynx days. Jeremiah Bass, part of a three-man midfield for Don Grimenz, and Nathan Knox back with Minnesota up front alongside Brian Civilicus, who has 3 goals on the season. Mel Tarley also back in the Minnesota fold. As for the Whitecaps, they've got the 4-4-2 under Tater Torderson and a couple of lineup changes. Tyrell Burgess makes his start in midfield as he'll line up on the left-hand side. Gordon Chin sliding into the middle of the park alongside Nash. Charles Biquet and Marcus Haber the strike front, and Wesley Charles and Jeff Park reunited at center of midfield. Nicholas Platter had a great game in this last fixture a year ago. He stoned the Whitecaps, shut them out. They came away with a 1-0 win on a Ricardo Sanchez PK. He's ready to go. And Jay Nolly at the other end has gone the distance for the Whitecaps. Bitterly disappointed they couldn't advance in the Neutralite Championships, but now focuses attention on league play. Our referee, the man in the middle, is Matthew Bordeaux. Cameron Blair is on the near side, and on the far side, it's Andy Foster from Victoria. As the game's already underway, the Whitecaps all in Umbro white, and Minnesota Thunder in their navy blue kit from head to toe as the Whitecaps steal. And here's Burgess' first ball, played on just wide of the far post. I'm not sure if Platter got a touch. Obviously not. It's a goal kick as we welcome Whitecap legend Carl Valentine to the fold. First of all, thanks for doing this, and perfect night for the beautiful game, you have to say.
Oh, it certainly is, and obviously brings back a lot of good memories, and nice to see the Whitecaps off such a positive start, straight from the kickoff over the top, and looking to challenge this Minnesota team.
Burgess with a positive start. Bermudan as Nick Platter sends it into Whitecap territory. The little flick on from Civilicus. Nathan Knox on the charge, but Jeff Park calmly back to his goalkeeper into midfield. Gordon Chin buzzing about as normal. Back it goes to the number 4, Andrew Peterson. Be a few players that know each other between the squads, as there's a bunch of DC United alums in both sides, so I'm sure there is some familiarity between the squads as the Whitecaps have a goal kick to our left here in minute number 2. As Minnesota trying to get out of the basement with just the 1 win. They haven't won on the road, but as mentioned, they did win here at Swangard last season. These two teams met earlier this season, and Marlon James had a tremendous performance, scoring a hat-trick. He had the goal of the week, and the winner on a bit of a controversial penalty late in the game, Whitecaps winning 3-2. Ball hammered away into Whitecap territory, and it's Melvin Tarley on the trot against Taka Hirano. Hirano taking on the number 2, who did well. Left-footed ball into the box, headed away by Park, and then cleared away. Actually, that was Wes Knight who cleared. It's back into Whitecap territory, and Knight in the red boots plays it to Charles Biquet. Soft little touchdown for the lime-booted Lyle Martin. Jeremiah Bass, who scored a big goal for Minnesota at home to Portland in their last outing, and that was a late goal that salvaged a 1-1 draw for the Thunder. Knox, the New Zealander, harassed by Nash. Jeff Park, and then Nash surrounded by Thunder players. And Wesley Charles, the little chip through to the chest of Marcus Haber, and Nicholas Platter will get an easy ball back. Whitecaps in 8th place in the USL table, 4, 5, and 3. As here comes Burgess again, turning on the jet, sending it into the breadbasket of Nick Platter in minute number 3. And 2 good efforts down the left flank from the kid Burgess.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it's going to be an open game. Minnesota keeping 3 players up front, so I think that's good for the Whitecaps.
Flag stays down on BK, but straight to goalkeeper Platter. As we're in the 3rd minute from Swangard Stadium, Peter Shad and Carl Valentine also being watched in Minnesota right now. I'm sure at the Kelly Inn on USLLive.com. And we appreciate you watching around North America and in the Lower Mainland here on Shaw. As Minnesota with a throw-in right at midfield. Arango. And the last man back is Clements. Civilicus. And then Jeff Park nods it away, but the flag went up on Civilicus on the far side, and that's the first work that Andy Foster's had to do with his flag in this match. Jay Nolly will take the subsequent indirect and thumps it diagonally forward for Burgess. Why not? Diachenko sees the ball off, and the Whitecaps get a throw-in opportunity. And they have a couple of long throwers on the team. Gordon Chin's going to leave this one for Takahirano, but certainly Wes Knight can come in and throw these long, as can Martin Nash. BK. Hirano. Dispossessed. And Minnesota will move it forward as far as Wesley Charles. From Brighton, SV&G. Jeff Park. Right-footed ball thumped through, and the chase is on. Look at Burgess again getting on the end of this, and a good ball in front, and BK got there just off his thigh and out, and Burgess is having a cracking first 5 minutes.
Yeah, he certainly is, and must be doing certainly a lot for his confidence. He's getting a lot of the ball. They're looking for him, especially over the top, and he's playing high on the back line, and looks like it's going to be a good night. Hopefully he can keep it up.
One of the things that Allen complains about often is just the quality of service from the flanks, and it's almost as if he's taken the approach that Tater Torgerson has, I'm sure, asked him, and just pelt that ball in the box. And those kind of balls driven across are so difficult for defenders to deal with. Yeah,
and if they get in the back behind the defense, even if the defense gets there first, they're in trouble to play the way out. So you can get throw-ins and corner kicks from it.
Arango, Civilicus, dispossessed by Chin. Just has those busy feet in midfield, appeals for the foul, not given. Knox, and then Ricardo Sanchez from Guadalajara, Mexico. A little flick through at the edge of the penalty area. Jeff Park is going the safe route, nodding it out for the first corner of the match. It'll come from the near side for Minnesota. I'd have thought he would have nodded it back to his goalkeeper, but no shout there, I guess, Carl.
No, and I think it's quite exciting the way both teams are approaching it. The game's really open.
Rod Diachenko from the near side quadrant in minute number 6. Back post ball, and Wesley Charles, first man there. Martin Nash sends it backwards and out. And Jeremiah Bass is the first man there for Minnesota. Dispossessed again, Burgess is there. And BK winds up with the ball at his feet. Inside for Nash. A little bit of room over here for Marcus Haber. And Nash sends it wide. Here comes Lyle Martin, who's a gazelle himself. Gets in behind his last man. Lyle Martin! Lyle Martin with his first goal at Swangard Stadium, at least this season, and he does a dance of joy on the touchline. Minute number 7, Whitecaps 1, Minnesota 0.
Well, they've been threatening to do that straight from the kickoff. The first ball was a ball over the top, and Minnesota have not adjusted. And great ball by Martin Nash there, right into his path. Real aggressive, strong, and a real cool finish.
It's his second goal as a Whitecap, first this season, and it was very calmly tucked away. We mentioned the speed on this team with Burgess, but you forget how quick Lyle Martin is, and look at how happy he is too, putting the Whitecaps in front inside 7 minutes. It's a great start for the men in white as they try to push that first place, or at least playoff position right now as we're midway through the season. Cuevas, Sanchez couldn't get a hold of that. Bass. And then Martin Nash hunkered down only as far as Jeremiah Bass. Clements. And then Andrew Peterson. Left-footed ball forward, flag goes up, and Nathan Knox caught offside. Nathan Knox has moved around over the last couple of years, but has found himself back in Minnesota. Same situation for Mel Tarley as they announce the goal from Lyle Martin here at Swangard Stadium. Terrific through ball from Nash. And Martin did well just to keep his balance, get past his man, not handle the ball, and then tuck it away.
Yeah, he looked as though he was hungry for that goal, and he really did well to brush the last defender off and then get his composure because the defender were on his heels, and it was a real good finish.
Throw in the near side from Peterson. This is the 37th meeting between these two teams, and Vancouver leads the series with 20 wins, 10 losses, 6 draws, 14-2-3 at Swangard. One of those losses, the 1-0 we referred to last year. Jeremiah Bass. Knox. Sanchez, good return ball. Bass into the penalty area, trying to get around. Wes Knight puts it in the middle and knocked away only as far as Civilicus. He'll wait and just leave it out for the corner. The Thunder's second corner. And again, it'll be Diachenko coming over to take. You hear the talking inside the penalty area as Diachenko serves it up right-footed. High to the back post, and Hirano nods it away. Sanchez first man there, right back in the box, and up high to clear is Charles. And then Haber. Bass did well to get it back. Marcus Haber, who hasn't had a whole lot to do in the early stages, again will test the pace of Lyle Martin. Nick Platter will come off his line, and that one was just a little too far for Lyle Martin.
Well, you have to admire Minnesota for the way they're approaching the game. They're really trying to come out and attack and take it to the Whitecaps, but I think it's a dangerous game they're playing because they keep getting caught with them balls over the top.
And so far, it looks as though they have weapons on either side with such speed in Burgess and Lyle Martin, and then they got the overlapping potential from West Knight at right back and Taka Hirano at left back, and they have Jordy Lyle on the bench who's got speed to burn as well. And Lyle hopes to get into this game after struggling with these back and hamstring related injuries, as away goes Marcus Haber down the left channel. Carries on, trying to get around Arango, but it's a sliding tackle, and it went off of Haber, I guess, for a goal kick, minute number 10. Fans don't like that. And it'll be a goal kick for Nick Platter. A great way for kids to see the Whitecaps players up close and personal is at a Whitecaps youth soccer camp, where players make special appearances on the last day of camp. Whitecaps youth soccer camps are on now in locations throughout Metro Vancouver, Vancouver Island, and the Okanagan. You can find out more information at whitecapsfc.com/camps. Foul for Wes Charles as he pushed down his man Knox. Free kick for Minnesota, 15 yards inside Whitecap territory. Sanchez takes quickly, nodded down by Park, and then knocked away. Piqué back to goal, finds the feet of Chin, through ball, and again Lyle Martin on the trot down this near side, and coming into the middle as Haber, out comes Platter, and he just got there ahead of Burgess and sends Sanchez away quickly. Ricardo Sanchez, who played for the now defunct California Victory and was plucked away by Minnesota. Good pickup for them, as he scored a couple of goals against Vancouver in that 3-2 win in Minnesota. And Blaine, Civilicus, Bass, and again Sanchez. Switches direction, little give and go at the edge of the box, and the Whitecaps collapse back nicely at the edge of the box to clear, and then a good header away by the Bermudan Burgess. Arango, who's born in Medellin, to a Minnesota native, Andrew Peterson. Bass, he's from Wisconsin. And then the through ball, and this is Kirk down the right flank. Draft pick of the LA Galaxy. Did he keep it in? Yes, he does, and off the shoulder of Civilicus. Whitecaps fortunate. The ball stayed in, and nothing came of that as Gordon Chin starts back. Chased down by the 6'3" Civilicus. Martin. Have to be happy for Gordon Chin, Carl. Here's a guy who's really traveled, winds up back in his hometown and getting a starting assignment for the Whitecaps, but one of the hardest workers in the entire league for sure.
Certainly, if a player deserves to get some opportunities, it's Gordon Chin. I remember coaching him a long time ago as a young player. He's probably still the same size, and you know, he's never stopped trying. He's probably been all over the world and really deserves an opportunity. Plus, he's a good player.
Most recently, he was in China, and before that, Charleston Battery, and before that, he was with the now defunct Edmonton Aviators. As the ball is set into Whitecap territory, Civilicus, who's got at least a foot on West Knight, into the hand.